love you.
Hang on. Can you hear me? I'm getting out of this one. Hold on. Can you hear me?
I love it. Oh, you are awesome. You are awesome.
Oh my God, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I don't either. Hey, and this has been bugging me. I've done what, 8 of these now? And I'm like, I know. You shouldn't be doing a LinkedIn Live if you're not live. Okay, yesterday, guys, I'm going to give you an idea of my evolution. It's so good to see you. I see you on the screen there. I love it.
So cool.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me open the door really quick. Hold on, my husband will kill me. He's in the other room. Hold on.
No worries. Take your time. I will bump it off of you for a second, and I will put it back to the screen. There we go. Okay, cool. And look at this. I can zoom in on us. I can go back to a topic. StreamYard. Look at this.
This is the second time that I'm doing this random. I'm sitting at my computer and the call is out there. Hey, G, you or someone else coming into this feed. The other time was with Jason Leibowitz and Chantel and the whole gang with the Connect-a-thon. Nice. And I was there in in that last hour with those guys. And I'm thinking, how did I do that at 7 a.m.? And now here I am doing this with you. Jared, you're awesome.
Hey, good to see you. Hey, Lori,
so what am I doing here? What is it exactly I'm doing here? Because I literally just shared my whole thing about, the whole, profile. And I apologize. I tuned in at the later part of this. But the moment I sat down, you were talking about how critical it is to remember that, hey, if someone takes a look at, maybe your little emojis or something here or there doesn't immediately jive, they're not meant to be in your tribe. Just move on. And I learned that throughout this entire year, big time, Jared. So I'm full on board.
Awesome.
Happy to chat with you.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. The backstory on that is I had an executive was referred to me, and I heard through the person who referred me, they went back to that person and they said, are you for real? Like, have you seen the guy's profile? And I'm like, yeah, I had a few more emojis than usual at that moment, but it was good feedback. I learned from it, but I was like, really? All you focused on was all the emojis, and it wasn't like I had a ton. Okay, really, but it was. Actually, it might have been equivalent to what I just showed earlier. It really wasn't that many, and that was enough to throw this guy off. I'm sorry, let's put a wall of text out there because you're an executive. Great, good luck with that, right? I mean, really? So, yeah, to each their own, right? But yeah, we've got some more comments still coming in. Shuvo, I love it. Guys, if you're still there, let us know. Razvan, this guy. Razvan, tell us where you're coming in here from. I don't want to spoil it for people, but this guy, Razvan, and I have been communicating back and forth. We've been working together. We've been finding nuggets on how you can attract your next big thing, right? I'll just leave it at that. He's been helping me out. I've been helping him out, hopefully. We're trying things, and that's what it's all about, guys. You put it out there, right? You got to try. You got to mix it up. And one of my, I don't know if you saw this or if you were on it, but Sonal, I was on her chatting in the comments of her LinkedIn Live the other day.
Was that the one on Friday? Because I missed that one. Yeah. I was so bummed I missed Friday. So, okay. I need to go back and look at that one.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my best. Let's see. I've got a few of us on here. Let's see if this will show us. It'll show both of us, and I'm going to try something. I'm going to share the screen.
Okay.
Look at this. I'm learning all the time, guys. Not afraid to try. Good. We are here. You can see me. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to give Sonal, there she is, Sonal Bal. I want you guys to check this out. But she did a LinkedIn Live on Friday. Again, this is how you get to the LinkedIn Lives, right? I'm doing this slowly because I know I'm zoomed in and I don't want anybody getting headaches on me here. I don't want to be taking blame for that. Go to see all activity. There's Sonal, and you go to her posts because see, already she's got activity, of course. But you go to posts. And this is from 2 hours ago, so that's not going to be it. Ooh, I love Tom Bilyeu. He is definitely one to check out. So I'm just going to like that one while I'm here because I know that's going to be a good one. But there it is. What is Agile? Is it a buzzword? So guys, she did it 2 days ago, Friday. Go check it out. She and I were, look at that, 223 comments, right? And again, my little hack, you go into that comments link. Can you guys see this? G, can you see this on the screen?
Yes, it's perfect.
So when I clicked on the comments, right away, get a couple to show, but the default sucks. Frankly, I'm in a discussion right now with LinkedIn support, and every once in a while, if you leave it on this default, and let's see if we can do it right now. No, actually, I'm not, because you know why I'm not? She's got 223. I'm going to be doing this forever. But if I went to a post and I click on comments and I left it at the default, but then I go down here, I scroll, see, look at that. I have a whole bunch of comments in hers. But if I keep clicking on load more, what'll happen is if you leave it on that default, hey, by the way, guys, there was that thing, that little saying that I had, right? When you keep doing this, eventually at the very bottom, of course, so you have to get through all of these, there's a little warning now that LinkedIn sometimes shows. It says, warning, being in the most relevant view may not show all the comments. It's like, what? Really? Well, isn't kind of that the point? It's great. And you even look at the help that it tells you. It's great that it says, see the comments by author and your connections first, followed by other relevant comments. Okay, if it's only going to show me a few other relevant comments, add the word few, please. I'm a BA at heart, okay? Please, is it that hard? And then what I heard too was the most recent. See most recent comments first, right? And so I'll only see the 3 of them. I mean, am I only? And that was kind of the feedback I've gotten so far. And I didn't like that answer. I said, no, if I'm only going to see a few of the most recent comments first, so be it. Tell me that. But by the way, guys, that by and far, this is the way to do it. You click on most recent. You will have the top 2 and any underneath it, right? Click on load more and scroll down to the bottom of the post. And not only are you going to get a better chance, let's leave it at that, a better chance to see all the comments and actually engage with them, even after a LinkedIn Live like this, right? Because that's one thing I don't like. Another thing I don't like about LinkedIn Lives, everything goes by so fast. You can't stop and see the comment and go back. But here now she was able to do this because she did that a day ago, and her live was 2 days ago, right? But going to the bottom of that post and click on load more comments. Make sense? G, what do you think?
Absolutely, yes. And I am a fan of Sonal's. I was so disappointed. I can't believe you're talking about this one because it was the one day I was playing with video because, in fact, I was just posting about the whole differentiation piece, about how to stand out as a job seeker. And I've been doing something way outside of my comfort zone. And that was actually part of why I missed you guys the other day, because I was trying to tinker with something that I'm not familiar with. But you know what? Nice. All of this learning process, and there's so much information out there too, I think, Jared. I mean, that's part of why, and I'm weird about the whole FOMO piece. I'm still trying to figure out that balance, and we talk about that a lot, but there's just so, for example, getting the notification this morning, he went live, 28 minutes ago, and I'm like, you know what, let me tune in today. Let me do this because I try to catch these lives when I can, unless it's, marked in my calendar. So I don't know. That's just my whole thing. So if you have any thoughts on the whole balance and, especially as a job seeker too, where's our time best spent?
Well,
I'm curious about that.
You touched on something, and I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, G. What I'm losing followers. Okay. Do I have your attention? I am losing followers. You know why?
No.
Because I'm doing lives. My follower count is going down because when that notice pops up, Jared is going live or Jared just went live. I get it. People are sick of it. So some people, you talk about balance. You talk about being out of your comfort zone. I'm being majorly out of my comfort zone. I like to put spotlight on other people. I've done it for years that way. But I'm doing something new, and I'm trying to make sure I'm adding value. And I'm, quite frankly, like I said earlier, with Jacqueline Way and her 12 days of giving, the campaign that I'm sharing right there, type that in, click on that hashtag, get to it, and also 365 Give, watch her TEDx talk, go to her profile. But talk about comfort zone, talk about balance. But back to this LinkedIn Live, the reason I'm losing followers is because people don't know how to do that setting. And I can show you guys here in a minute. If you want to know how to do this, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste the time. But you can turn off somebody's LinkedIn Live notifications to you, or really anybody. It's actually at that level. You can turn off seeing LinkedIn Lives. Like I can't stand that. I don't want to be bothered by someone going live. I don't have an hour to sit around and wait for somebody to start talking to me, right? Fine. Hey, to each their own, right? It's their balance. It's their comfort zone. And I get it. It's why I asked earlier, if you've only got a few minutes, are you going to stick around for an hour conversation? Probably not. You can turn off just the live notifications. There's 2 places to do that, on both the app and on the browser, the PC browser. And you can still keep seeing other content that they are doing. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys want to know more, I don't want to get into it too much, but there's ways to doing it. I've gone through the settings and the steps before. But it's a balance. And people, the default, when they see LinkedIn Live, the reason I'm losing followers, they're unfocused, right? Their attention spans are shorter and shorter. It pops up and they're like, oh God, that guy's going live again. He's bugging me. I'm tired of seeing this guy and his live stuff. Maybe they are tired of seeing me. That's fine. Again, the tribe thing, right? But when you click on the 3 dots, I'll leave it at this, there's an option to unfollow, and that's what people are doing. And there's also an option that says hide notifications like this. So that will turn off lives.
The problem is, if I can just say something though, again, with things moving too fast, people don't know this. LinkedIn and I will be honest with you, you cannot tell by looking at my profile and my follower count or my connection count that I've been on LinkedIn for 12 years. I literally, I don't even know what the number is right now, but my point to that is, things change with LinkedIn every day. And I've learned more about LinkedIn in this past year because until this past year, yes, it's given me things and it's helped me build a network and it's done great things for me. And right. I've been able to contribute, in turn. But the problem is things change so quickly and we're trying to struggle with, okay, where do we go? What do we, focus on? And we miss half the time, the settings change and wait, how do you get out of this chat or what do you need to do to better structure your day? So when people are unfollowing you, Jared, they probably don't I know you and your content well enough to know that I'm not going to click on that even though you go live. You know what I mean? But there's other people that I'm connected to or that I follow, if I didn't really know them or want to follow them, you just click on that. It's just, and they're poof gone. They don't think about it.
Right.
Participants don't, or, your connections don't, whereas you notice that. And that's interesting because I didn't realize that. So thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'd heard it like a year ago and it took me a long time before I applied 2-3 times to get LinkedIn Live. I did 260 profile pop-up free profile reviews, video, usually a video, before. And then I had to say that in the last application I did, I'm like, look, I've done 260 times publicly. I've gone through a profile and helped people out with their profile. And maybe that was enough to do it. I don't know. But another little known fact, LinkedIn, and I don't know if they still hold to this or not, and I'm going to say it. They flat out tell you, don't talk about LinkedIn on a LinkedIn Live.
Oh, that's right. You know what? Brenda Meller, I remember that came from Brenda Meller once because I was actually at one of her shows and the show went by in such, quick fashion. I don't remember how often, if I did or didn't mention it, but I do remember specifically, I've never understood that logic on a live to not talk about LinkedIn. I don't get it. So I don't know if there's anything that you'll share, but.
Yeah. And it's, what I'm chalking it up to as of right now, because they gave me LinkedIn Live and I flat out told them that's the big thing I do. I review people's LinkedIn profiles. I flat out said it and they still gave me Live. So that makes me think, I'm not trying to exploit it. I'm not trying to cut down LinkedIn. I'm not trying to trash them or anything like that. But I'm going to tell you things that work on LinkedIn. I guarantee you I will do that, and I will do it in a live. I mean, that's what I do. It's what I'm all about. People are here to learn and grow and do better and attract whatever is the audience that they're looking for, right? But it's the way I would chalk it up right now, G, is it's like a lot of the LinkedIn help text that you'll find. It goes back to 2018, 2017. So it was the idea when LinkedIn Lives were brand new. They don't want people talking about LinkedIn. They want you talking about conversations, getting things started, something new, something great. So they just, like a lot of times, they haven't updated their documentation. So, you guys tell me in the comments, there's something else you want to talk about, but I'm glad to talk about LinkedIn, resumes, coaching. That's why I'm here. It's why I'm on the platform for the most part, but I'm also here about joy. I'm also like day 7 yesterday, right. Like your smile says it all, right? I am about reading people, giving people joy, like Maya Angelou, like I said yesterday. People will forget what you said. They'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget. You know the end?
Yeah, exactly. How you made them feel.
Bingo. Yeah, right.
Oh my God, you're speaking. You know what? And this is so important too, especially right now, because again, it's been a crazy year. We're still moving, quick, especially going into Christmas week and then New Year's and mixed emotions. And there's just, ugh. And I think the one theme though, that keeps being brought up as it should be is just, community and connectivity and kindness. Hashtag be kind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just, remembering it, just, again, empathy for others and making others feel good. And I'll tell you honestly, and by the way, this obviously was a very last minute thing for me to jump on about this, but I'm completing this very brief 3-video series way outside of my comfort zone. But the intention with it was, yes, I need a job and all that great stuff and whatever. There have been so many conversations over the past several months about people being so afraid to express themselves, people afraid to get onto a camera, people afraid to, reach out to others. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I'm an introvert. Can you tell?
You know what? I don't want to say I'm not surprised because I don't know you very well. I know your content, but I do know a lot of people who come across as extroverts come out and say that. And I'm sort of in the middle of the spectrum, if you will. Some people would look at me and say, gee, you're an extreme extrovert, but those are also comments coming from the way opposite, introverted. And I'd say, sure, I would look at you and think maybe more of an ambivert or middle. That would be my thought. You know what I mean?
I will speak up if I need to. I've always been that way, right? Yeah, I definitely. And I do have another comment here that came in from Christy. Should I quit the job? Christy, you may have joined a little bit late, and I do want to be true to the topic at hand, because it's probably what brought you into this conversation. So anyway, I saw that and it makes me think I want to jump back to that topic real quick. But yeah, I mean, we're all doing the best we can. Let's flip that around. Let's apply that to a job and job seeking. Are you an extrovert? You're an introvert? How do you improve? How do you be kind? Let's take all those concepts we just talked about, apply it to, should I quit the job? Right. Christy, thank you so much for asking that question and bringing us back on track. But, and I want to say something here as well. Can I share something with you guys? Daniel, you just did. So, how I got work at 5 different companies without going through HR. Well, I wrote it down here. I just want to share. I'm just reading this comment on the fly. I saw it. I wanted to share it. You might be able to share it with others. Yeah, please do. Daniel, show it, share it. I can give you my quick take. I made a 1-word change on my profile and I got my job. That was the last time I had to get a job on my own, and it worked. So you guys want to know more about that? Hit me up in the comments. I'm not going to give away the secret at this point, but it's real and there's ways of doing it. We can get into that, but I think all the things you were just saying, G, and in terms of getting a job and should I quit my job? If you are unhappy, if you don't feel the kindness around your job, around your boss, if the boss is like, get in here, don't wear a mask, I want you traveling all the time, I want you getting on that plane, really? You want to be in a place like that? I mean, you may have needs, financial needs. I get it. Again, that trumps everything. You got to do what's right financially. But if it's making you miserable, I think that's one of the huge decision factors, don't you think? That you need to start looking for another job.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
You know what? and Jared, you don't know much about my background, but in fact, again, going back to why I'm doing this video piece, because people need to start thinking outside of the box. And I'm in a situation now where I was laid off months ago, and I am in HR, by the way. So I'm an HR person. So I come to the table with both perspectives, and I've been here multiple times. This year's been a beast in many ways and has been very different. What's interesting though is I have left jobs. I can think of one job in particular that I left after just a few short months because it was the worst fit.
You could tell.
And again, it's one of those jobs where you enter into thinking you know enough and you're excited and you want to do a great job, and it just falls to wherever it happens. And I can only say to this, here's the thing. If you can financially handle it, if you're to the breaking point and you're saying, you know what, this is ridiculous. There's a point where you say to yourself, you've got to go, or you work out a way to, I guess, work through that transition. And depending on the situation, be as forthcoming, with your boss, if you have that relationship.
Right.
But when it gets to the point where you're physically ill, when it takes a toll on your family life, your personal life, affects your relationships, there's only so much life we have in this world. There's only so much time. This year has been spot on, really, shining that spotlight on that very thing. And so when we now say life's too short, it's way too short to be spent miserable in a job. I'm sorry. But again, every situation's different. So that's my take. And again, I'm HR. So I get it. I don't want to lose you as an employee, but I can't make you, employee, go do things that are uncomfortable for you. Conversely, as a candidate, I don't want to enter into a job that's going to suck. Pardon my language. But and I've already heard and had those conversations, this year with a few people who are reluctant to get back into certain jobs that they're doing it because they have to get back to work. I will eventually get to the point where, yes, I need a job, but I do not want to start something knowing I'm going to be in another similar situation in a few months just to run away from one bad thing into another.
Do your best to avoid that, of course. But you know what? A job may be a job. It may be a stepping stone, right? And here, somebody just had a comment coming in, Rick, don't ever let a job be about money only. Yeah. I mean, it's to each his own, right? I got to say, I'm not going to tell people, hey, it should only be about money or should never be about money. I'm not here to make that call. You have to make that call, but do consider what it's doing to your life. I have felt the toxic result that you are just talking about. I have been in for 3 years. That job I was talking about earlier, I was in it for 3 years. 90-day review. The boss asked me, what do I do here? I was there 3 years, guys. That's when the toxicity really kicked in. It's like, why did I do that? What was I thinking? I needed the money. I needed the job. I had a family to support. There are always lots of factors, okay? But you gotta keep it in mind. And to me, you know what? It comes back to two things real quick. You coming from HR, I didn't even realize that. I remember seeing you the other day on the LinkedIn local thing. So
I'm a fan. I've been following you. I'm a fan. So yeah, that's why. And thank you. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Thank you. No, but I got two thoughts for you. Employment at will, and what's the purpose of an interview, right? I mean, you walk into the interview for fit. It's that simple. They obviously saw you as coming from HR. You know this. They saw you. There was something about your resume, something about they heard about you. I get it, and that's fine. But it's a two-way street. Don't ever forget it. If you walk in there and the boss is like, "Yeah, so tell me what." So see, it says here, you're interested in the job, huh? So why do you want the job? I'm of the mind, if a guy's doing that to you, I'm out the door the second he's doing it. If you can't even look me in the face and say, so you want the job? Really?
I want a paycheck. That's why I want the job.
Yeah, and if you're going to say that, then he's going to say, okay, then see you at the door. I mean, come on, guys, it's a two-way street, right? But
oh my gosh.
Sometimes you know this drill too, I'm sure. Yes. You can say the right things. You can do all the right things. Oh my God, it looks like the best job. I've researched this company. The classic resume writer or job seeker approach, right? Target your companies. Make a list of 100. Zero in. Find the perfect company. Apply to them with a resume that stands out. You know what I'm going through, right? All the perfect ways. I get it, sure. But I'm telling you something right now. I'm just going to say it out. You have the perfect resume, matching the perfect job, so you think, to the perfect company in that perfect department, etc. Number one, you send that resume off, you apply. Will it even get seen? You got the whole ATS, you've got the seconds of scans. You are taking a crapshoot, frankly. You're rolling the dice unless you have what has always been and always will be the best way to do it. You know this too, G. Referrals, networking, social media, right? Show your worth, show your value, attract your tribe. They will look for you. They will help you. They will want to help you. But people think that, hey, I can get a job that way. I don't prefer a resume, and that's the reason why, because there's so many variables. And then the reason I was getting into that briefly is, let's say you have the interview. Let's say you're like, oh my God, it worked. I used a resume and I got the job and I had the interview. Yay. All I cared about was the money. The boss was one of those that's kind of like asking you questions and like, when's this going to be over? I got another client here. Can you, really? But hey, I got a job. You gave me the offer. I'll take it. I need the money. Well, see, that's the kind of thing, guys, that really will hit home when it's an employment at will, right? Once that's up, you don't have to stay, but you have to look at your factors and everything that's there. I'm curious what you guys think. G, what do you think?
It's again, wow, great conversation. I was not expecting this morning, Jared. I'm so excited. Something else that has come up over the past few months too is even spinning that differently, not so much focused on target companies, because I'll give you a prime example. I had a company in mind. I had that ideal, how do I go after it, what have you, for whatever the reasons were. And,
Right.
without naming the company, I will tell you, I ultimately did go through a process with this company. I think I wrote about a post on this. I was frustrated months ago.
Okay.
And it was frustrating because I thought, oh my God, this is going to be perfect and this is going to be wonderful. And I did not have the most, let's just say, savory of recruitment experiences or interviewing experiences. And
Sure.
it was disappointing because you jump through the hoops, you do the application, you do all this stuff. It's like, yeah, I really want to work here. And everything just fell apart. Interestingly enough, in talking to other people, they've spun it differently. So for instance, the company that I would think, oh, everyone should, be on board about, not so many people are, going with that company. Whereas people are instead deciding to say, hey, you know what? I want a job fit. I want to create a job for myself or find out how I can best do that. And, focus more on not so much the company, because again, I'm thinking, wow, it's going to be the perfect company and the perfect job and the perfect anything. And please, dear God, by the way, ATS folks, for anyone who just jumped in, not familiar, applicant tracking system, I need to do better with that, by the way. I keep saying ATS and people are like, what's an ATS?
Me too.
System. Also known as the proverbial black hole.
Yep.
So folks, my whole thing is this. Yes, you can have your select few companies, but even then it's not going to be perfect. There is nothing such as perfection, if you will.
Right. Totally.
Take a look at and go through all of these job descriptions that are posted that you're applying for, and that, you're thinking, I'm just going to apply and it'll get through. And on occasion it does. I've heard, without naming specific job sites, I've heard that a couple of job sites are better than others, more favorable than others, in terms of, people having visibility to your information.
Sure.
But even then, it's a matter of, ensuring, hey, is this really what I'm looking for? Like this job description, and carve out of those buzzwords. And Jared, I'm sure you could go on and on forever about this. You're probably by far much more expert at this than I, but just carving out or creating, what looks good for you and targeting those jobs. Again, the companies, you may think on paper or visually, oh my God, that's a company I really, really want to go to work for. And then you get there, you think, And I will tell you this, like, if you look at my background, I will say I've been very, 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 very blessed. I have worked for some larger, well-known corporations, if you will. Have the jobs always been perfect? Not necessarily, but I will tell you this. I've been blessed to have worked for great teams. Some of the functions have been, great. The people have been great. So don't just look at the company and the paycheck and the dollar amount, because again, you're going to sell your soul for something that,
Totally.
So
just to that point, just to add to that, what you just said, brilliant. And I've seen this said before, and this is a great way, a quote basically to wrap up what you just said. People join companies, like they join great companies. They think the company's great. They do the research. Oh, I can't wait. I really want to work for that company, that big Fortune 500 or 100 company. But they leave bosses. They join companies, but they leave bosses. You talk about team. You put it in a framework of a team, but it reminded me, you go to work for a boss who's a bear, that can ruin it. And it could still be the best company in the world. It could be the Googles, the Microsofts, and whatever of the world. I have heard of people who are unhappy at Amazon, Microsoft, Google. They will never work there again. I just named three of the most.
Because of their boss is what you're saying, primarily.
Probably, I don't know for sure, but I know that that's how they felt, and I know that they were like, I'll never do that again. I don't know all the details of it, and it varies from person by person. It's not always about the perfect company, right? So yeah, you have to keep that in mind. I got the family calling here. I'm going longer than I thought, so I need to wrap it up real quick here. But yes, so just that right there alone is worth giving some thought, right? You join for the company, you go after the company, but actually that's actually an interesting tangent. It's why I don't like to rely on a resume, because of the black hole. You said it so well. The ATS, the applicant tracking system, it's like a black hole. You have, as you know too, I'm sure, you have to tailor that resume to each job at a company, at that perfect company. It's got to be tailored. No wonder the way you said, I forget exactly what you said, but it's like, yeah, I'm not doing so well with that thing. The ATS, I got to get better at it. You may have been referring to just telling people what the acronym means, but so many people are in that boat where I need to get better at getting an ATS compliant resume. right? But even though, let's clarify here, because I've seen this way too much, an ATS compliant resume is not enough, guys. It is not enough. You have to match every single job. Want a better solution? Build a profile that pops. Build a profile that attracts people. Put your eggs in a LinkedIn profile. Have recruiters searching, seeing you, going, oh my God, you cultivate the quality candidate. Gee, I need to know more. Boom. If that's what I just grabbed because I looked at your headline, you're passionately motivated. What does that mean? I want to know more. Hey, tell me any resume that does that. Okay. Some of them do. Frankly, some resumes are wrapped in a chocolate bar. I get it. Unless you want to spend all your time wrapping up your resume in a chocolate bar, you got to stand out, and it's right here. I'm sorry, I had her screen on and I'm referring to it. There it is. G has got some passionately motivated, wrapped up chocolate bars. If you're interested, I'm telling you, they're the best. So it's right here, people. You don't need to go looking at a sheet of paper that, and by the way, that's another thing. I mean, I'm going to check before I say this, because I want to be kind here. I'm not a fan of taking any resume ever and ever having it on LinkedIn. Let's keep it that simple. Don't add it in your featured. Don't add it in your about, in your companies. Don't have it as media attached. Don't share it. Don't send it around in a post, in an article, in a document post. Don't do it. What are your thoughts? I've said this before, but I'm curious if you agree and what your thoughts are, G.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. It is so funny that you're bringing this up, because again, I've had these conversations too. That's the problem. First of all, I agree with you. And I've been asked, in fact, now that I think about it, by my own favorite career BFF, I'm giving Anna Morgan here a shout out. If she's on vacation, I think, or might be offline, but Anna Morgan, the best. #career BFF, folks.
I was going to say, I know she has BFF in her hashtags. That's great. Thank you.
Yes. So Anna Morgan challenged me once with that very question. How come you don't have your resume on your profile? And my response, and I don't think we ever even really finished the discussion on it, but my response to her was this. I said, your profile is meant to be a little bit of a snapshot of like the rest of, like, what is it, a teaser, if you will? Like, here's the teaser. If you want the meat and, all the rest of the meal, here you go.
Bring me in for the interview. Right?
Exactly. And that's just like again, I'm going to keep plugging this just because we're on the topic, but I am not a fan of video. I hate it. So my even talking to you right now, talk about being outside of my comfort zone, folks.
I think I'm on video, just to make you feel better, G. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm on like video number 5 ever, me zoomed in. I'm like kind of freaking out a little bit here.
Are you serious? I didn't know.
On the camera. Yes.
I did not. I did not realize that. So yeah. I'm shocked, but yeah, my whole thing is, again, standing out, in video, or putting this stuff together, neatly wrapping it in a little package so that employers, job seekers, get creative with it. There's so many different tools. And if it's not video, that's okay. Do a presentation deck. I have an intro deck on my profile. I just did this recently. Just sharing with employers who I am. So that way, when you come to my profile, there you go. This way, Jared, here's my rationale for it. Is it all going to get me a job? I don't know. I'm praying, and not just a job, folks. I want something, that's right and suitable for me. But I will say this, I will have exhausted my options here, and I am putting forth the effort. So stick your neck out there, get a little bit outside of your comfort zone, get creative, have fun, enjoy what you can during your job search process, because trust me, when you get a job, you're not going to have the time to focus on these things. Totally. So enjoy and embrace this time. That's my hardest, most heartfelt suggestion for job seekers. Please do as I'm doing. It's not fun being unemployed ever, but make the most of the time that we have to do it.
Yeah, totally. No, and if anything, this goes back to what I was talking about yesterday a little bit. Hal Elrod, one of his famous, from the Miracle Morning book, one of his famous little quotes is, he realized, on death's bed several times, right? He would literally say to himself, well, can't change that. And he gives himself about 90 seconds to wallow in pity and all that kind of stuff. But what you just said triggered that, right? COVID, we can't change that. We can't change COVID. But what could be good about COVID? What could we be grateful for with COVID? Now is the time to dig deep, to reflect, to focus on what you're all about, what job would be more ideal or the ideal for you, And how can I go about attracting it, getting it, showing the value? It's not about you asking for a job. Please, if you have in your headline right now, actively seeking new job, actively seeking job, looking for a job, open to a job, stop that. Ask me about hashtag O&O and using it properly, but do not start and especially only include open to new opportunities, actively seeking. Don't do it. You're doing yourself a disservice. You are hurting yourself. You've just wasted brand real estate.
Jared, before you go and before you kick me off, I have got, and this is, I'm sure, a burning question that everybody wants to know, because again, another varying opinion thing for the year. And I know we're not supposed to talk too much about LinkedIn, but the green circle. What are your thoughts on the green circle? I would love to know yours. Are you willing to share?
I sure am. I'm going to start it off with saying thank you for asking the question. And that's a great way, because we're talking about, attracting a job, right? That was our topic here. Yes. What better way? LinkedIn, because of COVID, we kind of just got into that topic, didn't we? That's why this came about. LinkedIn did the green label, the green banner. Am I doing this right there? I think it goes like that. There. What is it? Wait, like this. Anyway, you get it. If I were to go to my profile, let me just show you guys. Now, my profile, as you see, is a little bit busy. I've got my hashtag on here, well, my site and hashtag. But if I were to go here and I scroll down and I say open to work, now I actually have it on. You guys see that? I have the open to work on right here, but it's only to recruiters. So I looked her up and I finally remember her name. A recruiter did a great video on this. Her name is Melanie Wood. I think it's Wood or Woods, but anyway, Melanie Wood. I apologize if you see this and I'm saying your name wrong. Let me know in the comments and I will look her up again and I will share the video she did on this. She literally did a video saying, if you are not turning on the banner, was the quick end of it all, you are wasting your chances of getting found. Because, and here's the quick answer, G, if you do this one right here, it literally tells you now, I never used to tell you this before, but it's only people shelling out about 10 grand a year. So we think of high-end executive recruiters, they're the only ones that will ever know that you have turned this on. So like it or not, you turning this on, if you are looking for a job, you see how it shows me here in the bottom, this is what it's going to look like. But that will now show people in an instant. What is the number one thing about your profile? The photo. It now shows that you are open in the photo. The number one thing going against it, so that's the big pro. If you're not doing it, you're missing out. If you do it, here's the biggest con. People see that and they say, oh, great. The old bias kicks in. Oh, great. Here's another person asking for a job. Don't be that person. It's just the same as actively seeking a new job is in your headline. You might as well do all that. Let's get it all in there. Okay. Makes sense. It's the same topic, right? Same point. So if I save this now, and look, by the way, too, let's see, turn on notifications. No, I don't want to turn that on. I'm just.
By the way, Jared, not to interrupt you, I can't see. I can only see you.
Sorry.
So I don't know what other people are seeing. There you go. I can see it now.
Mm-hmm. Now I want to go back into it. I apologize, but you scroll down to your profile, you go to edit it. All I did is I clicked on this button. I'm sorry. Thank you for saying that. If you click on this section right here, now again, it's buried. They don't even let you see this, right? You see the titles. By the way, Melanie Wood also confirmed this for me and actually really kind of taught me this. If I'm in Madison, Wisconsin area, say something bigger. Say the whole state and even all the United States, because then you will show up in even more recruiters' searches. Okay. I love that. She is a recruiter. She uses LinkedIn Recruiter, but she also understands how this all works. So that kudos to her, to Melanie Woods for saying that. But when you go down here to add the banner, it's not even all that intuitive. You have to click over here on the right, or basically click on this. Then it pops up. Default is recruiters only. And again, you're paying 10 grand a year. I call that executive recruiters. There aren't that many people, I would say, overall, especially with COVID. A lot of recruiters don't have a lot of money, right? The quotas are up. Their volume is down. They're doing whatever they can. They're cutting corners. You're missing out. So if you don't have this on, you're missing out. But if you do have it on, the number one thing you have to tackle, and don't tackle this before you even turn it on, is make sure your value comes across first. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm sorry I didn't check in on that earlier, but if your value and now the banner, this is another related question. Should I have a banner and should it be all full of stuff like this and all that? A lot of people have a blank banner. They don't even have one. You've got a great banner. I was showing that earlier. but you need to be showing your value every chance you get. Okay. I am what? In the first 3 words, I would say the first 3 to 5 words, what do you do? What are you offering? Why should I care about you and your profile? If that doesn't pop in the first 3 to 5 words, why? Ask me why in the comments and I'll tell you. But you may be missing out. But this may be all people see about me. And that's what I want them to see. There's a reason behind that. And then I want them to realize, wow, you can pop leads and jobs. And there's this website and there's a hashtag. I have to add my hashtag, by the way. Just realize that. I want people to realize that I have a hashtag. So I am going in here. Whoops, come on. It's a little slow with the scroll. But if I keep this in here, that way you realize it's a double meaning. It's profiles that pop. Now, because I've got these symbols in here, people aren't going to find me for it. And that's another question I get. I'm going on about beyond the banner here, but when people put hashtag O&O like you did in the headline, it may or may not be found in a search. Logic, LinkedIn Recruiter would think that whatever you have in the headline, jam packet full of keywords, right? It's going to help you, but not always. You need to really kind of test it out. And it's really hard. LinkedIn makes it really hard to test it out. I showed a way to do that, I think, an earlier day. If not, ask me in the comments, but I can get into it more. But basically, I shared how you can get found out of 33 million people. You know, it's about getting content in the right spots on LinkedIn. That's what it comes down to, guys. My biggest tip on getting found, SEO, search engine optimization on LinkedIn. But you need to be popping value. To answer your question, if open to work, great. Now people know me. If they were to scroll down here, apologize for the scroll. Don't go dizzy on me. Don't pass out. If I click on a reply, do this on an app. Go to a reply like I just did of your own. Scroll down. Here's B. So look how small that is. And that's the beauty of it, right? In an instant, in a quick glance of how small that is, I can tell what it's saying. But now see, this didn't work. And I don't know why. Darn it. Let me find another one. Sorry, I'm jumping around. Close your eyes. If you're dizzy, I'm looking for where I replied. Jared replied. Let's try this one. Because I want to show you in a reply that I do how little people may see. No, you got to love it. LinkedIn's being glitchy on me. Fine, be that way. I'm in here. Oh, here's the comment I was telling you guys about. Do you see that, G? Some comments may not be displayed. Yeah, like right now, I'm trying to find a comment. It tells me that I replied, and I click on it, and I can't see it. Great. Thank you, LinkedIn. Appreciate that. So you know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to do what it just said. Click on most recent. And now, will I show up in a quick scan? Nope. Of course not. And this is going to be buried. There's Jeff Young. I was just talking about him too. But here we go. Now I know when to get it to it because I found my comment. There it is. So you guys can see real time. If you get to this point, and the reason I said a reply, because it's nested. It's underneath a level. You see how here we get to profiles that on my original comment? Here I get to profile. It cut it off even more. Do it on an app, and you will see yet again how much it gets cut off. That's why I said moments ago, and it's not highlighting the way I want it to highlight, of course. You kind of get the drill here. It's going to highlight about 3 to 5 words. It may highlight only about that much is what I'm anticipating on a app. Okay, check it out. Tell me, give me a screenshot. How much of my headline in a reply, a nested reply, are you seeing of my headline? And put that in the comments if you would. But anyway, G, I digress. Did I answer the question? Sorry.
Yeah. You know, again, it's one of those things where
it's a personal.
I had, by the way, I did have mine. I wrote about it. I think it was 4th of July weekend and I remember it was right before the holidays. I thought, hey, I'm going to write about this and I'm excited and I'm going to boast to the masses. Hey, look at me. I'm open to work and, you know, this great stuff. And then I saw a few people start chiming in later, like in the month, you know, ahead. And for me personally, and I just sort of lost the momentum, I guess, and the joy from it. And so I removed mine. But ever since then, the debate is still there. It's a personal preference. I know of people who've gotten jobs who did and did not have the open green circle open to work. So it's, again, you know, the job search is finicky in itself. We never know timing. The one thing I would encourage people, though, really quick, and this is what I'm going to stick with, I'm going full force, if you can, you know, during the holidays. And why do we want to do this, Jared? And would you like to answer the question, why do job seekers want to continue going full force during the holidays?
You never give up. You always have plan B and plan C. Just because someone showed interest, just because a recruiter called you back and said, hey, send me your resume, I'd be leery when I hear that. Because you know what? That is the most common thing you hear. A recruiter somehow found you on LinkedIn and they say, can you send me the resume? And you're thinking, yes, I'm going to enjoy the holidays. I'm set. The recruiter asked for my resume. Well, that's if you have a good resume. Some people, like some of the clients I have right now, are kind of like, I know there's recruiters. I've literally been asked by people to send the resume. I know it's in terrible shape. Haven't touched it in 10 years. Now you're scramble mode. Like, I got it. And so you may be spending your holiday quickly getting that resume up to snuff, right? But yeah, don't ever put all your eggs in one job. Put all your eggs in LinkedIn. Put all your eggs in networking. Never stop. Never give it up. Oh my God, look who's in the house.
Chantel! Oh my gosh, lady!
She is great. If you just joined now, Chantel, you got to rewind because I was showing her profile and her recent video campaign and all. She's into some great stuff. So this has been great. I broke a record here. I'm at an hour and a half. Wow. So yeah. Anyway, where were we? I better wrap this up. I already had the family call in a second ago. Where were we? Do you want to use the banner open to work? Do you want to use hashtag O&O? Do you want to keep going on your job search through the holidays? No, yes, and no. No, I know. Never. The quick answer is if you need a job, it takes work to get one. Yeah. That's the simple answer. Don't give up.
Yeah. And again, job seekers, and I know this again because I've recruited during the holidays and I've called candidates during the holidays. I will say this. Recruiters don't always, turn everything off. So people are working, the jobs are out there. People are gearing up, ramping up for the new year. Let's get excited for the things to come. We've got a lot to look forward to in the new year. And just want to say happy holidays. And thank you, Jared, so much for having me on today. This is fun.
It was great to have you. What an impromptu thing. We did it. My first live on live. Thank you so much for
I'm so excited. I know. And thank you, Chantel and crew and Gabe and all those guys. Again, like I said, Jason and Raquel and, because of that connect-a-thon, I had the courage to do this today. So again, folks, it's all about just thinking a little bit outside the box. Step out of your comfort zone and have fun. People are here to support you in the job search. And I'm blessed just even talking to you, Jared, today. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. It's been my pleasure. And I would venture to say it's been our pleasure. So keep it up, guys. Things are tough. We know that. If you're watching this, it's probably because you are in that mode of looking for a job. We get it. It's hard. Even G's in that mode, right? I was without a job for a couple of weeks. I was on furlough earlier this year. I was impacted too. Now I've got a new full-time job, which I'm even more engaged in. So I have even less time on LinkedIn. You got to do what you can do, even if it's over the holidays. And with that, I will leave it at that. We're in an hour 33. Broke a record. I never thought I'd go this long. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Let us know what you thought. I get it. These things shouldn't be this long, but hey, I hope you got some value. Where there's a tool that can speed up video and you can actually, hear things a little bit faster, might be a better way to get through an hour and a half. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. Anyway, G, have a great Sunday and the same to all of you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jared. We'll see you later. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.